Hi, welcome to another episode of Real PR. Today with me, Lauren Roberts. We're going to dive straight in. We're talking to a friend and client at Scott Media today, Sally Holland from PPS Chartered Accountants.
Hi Lauren, so my name is Sally Holland. I am one of the 4 directors at PPS Chartered Accountants in Old Town Swindon, and we help owner-managed businesses to grow and expand their business, as well as saving them lots of tax.
That's always good.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're our accountant. We've started working together in the last few months.
We have.
PR's been something that you've done quite a lot before. You know, we've started working together, but it's been something that's been important to PPS, hasn't it, for a while?
Yes.
Talk to me about visibility and why that's important to you.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of accountants out there that are hiding away a little bit, and that's something that they've chosen themselves to do. For us, we don't want to be massively out there shouting too much, but we just want to be letting people know that we're available, they can come and chat to us, and we're not too scary.
Absolutely. And that might be something maybe that people think about accountants.
Yeah.
We find it in PR, people have their assumptions about it. We like to dispel the myths of around PR. What do you think something that people might assume maybe about accountants?
I think sometimes that it's this grey-haired old man that's kind of sat in a corner and talking at them about what they should be doing in their business, and just telling them, right, this is what you should be doing, this is where we should be going with it, when actually we're not like that at all. We're here to help you build your businesses and grow your businesses, and so that's just really a massive myth.
And your team absolutely isn't like that. I've met lots of members of your team. You've got a really lovely setup at PPS. Talk to me a little bit about the team and sort of the size of PPS.
Yeah, so we are 4 directors, and then we've got around 15, 16 members of staff. I always lose count with those. And yeah, a real wide variety of people working in different areas of the business as well, and at different training aspects of the business. So yeah, I mean, they're all really lovely. We're very lucky to have a fantastic team of people around us.
And you've been there for a while, haven't you? You're celebrating a lovely anniversary there this year.
Yes, I've been there for 25 years now, which feels like an awful long time.
How's the team changed since you first started?
Yeah, so at the beginning it was 2 directors and I think possibly 4 members of staff. So we've really grown in those 25 years. We've stayed in the same building, but we've just managed to kind of expand the team. We've got some hybrid workers, etc. as well within the business, and seen a lot of changes during that time as well.
Is hybrid working something that sort of came in around COVID, or were you sort of doing that around before?
Yeah, no, definitely due to COVID, because to be honest, we were a bit against it before, thinking, there were myths around that as well, that, people would go and work from home and would just, do their washing and that kind of thing. But actually, we've made it a real difference at PPS, and has maintained us being able to stay in the building that we're in, where we thought we were outgrowing it. So a lot of our staff appreciate the way that they can do some hybrid working.
Yeah. Do you go out to sort of visit clients? I know we've come to you a couple of times. What's the setup there?
Yeah, we try to get out and see people, because you guys tend to feel more comfortable in your natural environment anyway. So we do have meetings in our office, but we will try where possible, and it's more interesting anyway to go out and kind of see what people do, where they are, how they run their business, and just how their day-to-day life is going. And people tend to open up a little bit more in those situations, which makes it easier for us to do then tax planning when we understand all the circumstances around somebody's life.
And I guess that's a really important part of your sort of client relationship, is getting to know people on that personal level.
Yeah, definitely. When you're working with owner-managed businesses, these are people that generally are running a business completely on their own and haven't necessarily got people that they can open up to. And we want to get to the point where they feel like they can talk to us. And sometimes those conversations are just them bouncing ideas around and us just sort of saying, yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. And then they go off with it. So yeah, it's really important for us to build those relationships.
And you're not just building those sort of in the business. I know you're out networking quite a lot. That sort of visibility side is quite important to you for there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Talk to me about breakfast.
Yes.
That might sound like a weird question. Talk to me about breakfast, Sally.
Absolutely. So yeah, we run the PPS Business Charity Breakfast 3 times a year, and this has gone down really well. So we used to do it as a lunch, but then we found actually since COVID, a lot of people find it easier to come and have breakfast with us first. And we just do a really relaxed business networking breakfast at the Hilton, which is a really great fried breakfast as well. And we just get a speaker to come in, a charity to come in, and we just raise as much money as we can for that charity, and hopefully get some people making some great connections before they carry on with their business day.
And you choose a different charity per breakfast, don't you? How do you sort of make that decision? What are you basing that off of?
So we try and find community, small community charities that people may not have heard about, so that we can kind of explain to other people what's happening within the local community. We do sometimes speak to the speaker, and they have occasionally said to us they would really like to raise money for a specific charity. But as time's gone on, I think we've been doing this probably 7 or 8 years now. We're finding that more and more people are saying, I know a really great charity, and then giving us those contact details. So yeah, we're always open to hear about charities that are, difficult to find, but doing some great business in the community.
Yeah, that's really lovely. And I know that you personally like to raise money for charity as well, don't you?
Yeah, whenever possible, I enjoy raising money for charity. There's one in particular that I really enjoying at the moment, which is Wiltshire Treehouse, and I've done some runs and swims and things for them as well. So yeah, I just think it kind of gives you a reason to do something, and when you're doing a long run or something like that, you can think, right, I'm actually raising money for charity. This matters.
I think that's something that's really important to a lot of small businesses, is given in charity. And then other networking sort of opportunities that you are involved in. Talk to me a little bit about your presidency.
Yes, so I'm part of BNI White Horse, which is a really great group of people. We've been going for about 18 months now, and yeah, they asked me to be president last year, which feels like a really weird way of being called a president. But we are just, getting better and better all the time. We've got a visitor day tomorrow, and we've got so many people booked into it. But again, it's just building that community of people, those business professionals around you. And it's just really nice to see them every week and just have a great group of people to be able to bounce ideas off and chat to.
Is that something that you've found has sort of stuck out to you during your time at PPS? That is the networking always been important?
Yeah, so when I was training to become a chartered accountant, became a chartered accountant, and then we started to look at the potential of me becoming a partner at some point in the future. So I started going on to sort of management training, leadership training courses, and as part of that, they talked about networking on this course that I was going to. So I went and joined a local networking group, which was actually female only, and just instantly loved it. And so I've tried to keep my networking going ever since then. COVID put a stop to that. But even then I went online, and then, I found White Horse Swindon recently and just thought, this is exactly what I want to do, really. So I really enjoy networking.
You said there about sort of being part of a female only group. What did you enjoy most about that?
I think back then it just made me feel very comfortable that there was only females in the room, that I didn't have to worry about anybody else to begin with, and I could make some really good relationships and kind of build on what I was already learning from my courses. But actually, it was really great to then go into other network groups that had males in there as well.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the mixed groups more, but actually it was really nice to have some female focus right at the very beginning of my journey.
And I guess that was probably around the time that you had children.
Yeah, so my eldest is 18, so back then was kind of when I was with 2 young children, and then I recently, 4 years ago, had my youngest as well. So I've kind of done networking around them, which has changed the timings of when I can do business networking and things as well, to make sure I can be a parent as well as a businesswoman.
Yeah, how do you find that changes the way that you sort of get involved with running a business, is being a busy working mum?
I think you just find ways to adapt it. I think I learned a long time ago that it's not really about a balance. The thought of a balance is great, but actually you can never be 50-50 between the two of them. And therefore you've just got to find a way to make both things work. And for me also, my running is another third thing to kind of bring into that as well. So it's all just finding ways that they can all work together. Sometimes they have to go into morning childcare, but I try really hard to walk my son to school every day and then walk him home from school 2 or 3 times a week. And for me, that's just a really nice way of me making sure I can work full attention in the business, but also make sure I'm being a parent, a good parent as well.
Yeah. And is that something that you were able to sort of do before? Is that just since you've become partner?
No, that's one of the reasons I've always stayed with PPS, is we've always had that flexibility. To all of us in the business, family is very important. And that I've always been able to find a way to kind of make it work through my whole journey there. So yeah, it wasn't from becoming a partner, it was what I was able to do before then. Just got a bit more flexibility now.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that's a really lovely sort of culture to have around you, especially in the workplace. It's not something that I find is very common. You know, that's why I left the corporate world, because that
Yeah.
flexibility wasn't going to be there for me.
Absolutely.
Was running something that you've always done?
Running was something, no. I used to hate running, like the idea at school. I would do the sprints and that was it. As soon as someone said long distance, I was like, no way at all. And I'm quite an impulsive person. So once I think after I'd had my daughter, I just thought, I want to do something for me. So I joined a running club and just turned up one day and just started running, did 5K and just grew on from there each time. So yeah, as soon as I kind of got into it, I realised it was a massive passion of mine.
That's really good. I
Yeah.
think I lost that a little bit when I've come and sort of left any sort of hobbies for myself,
Yeah.
let them go. But I think it really does really redefine your priorities.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's a bit of an escape as well. It's just to kind of go, right, I need a switch between being a mum and being at work. They're both full on, full time things for me to do. Whilst if I can go out and have a half an hour run, you know, even my husband says, yeah, you're so much better after a run.
Yeah.
So it just kind of clears my head and just makes me kind of set up for the day that way. So yeah, there's got loads of benefits to it.
What can your day sort of look like? Give me a little bit of an example of what your working day might look like, Sally.
Oh, well, I think it varies massively. There's some days when I work from home, so I'll walk my son to school and then I'll just spend the whole day at home with the dogs around me, go and pick him up from school and then carry on at the rest of the day. There's other days where I'll go out for a run as soon as I've taken my son to school, and then I'll be straight into the office and won't leave there till sort of 5:30 to be able to pick him up from after school club. So yeah, it can vary massively. Sometimes I go out to clients. I've got my BNI every Wednesday as well. So a bit of a routine, but actually every day is slightly different at the same time, which I really enjoy. I wouldn't want to just be at a desk 9 to 5 every single day.
And I think that's sometimes something that people can maybe forget when they're running their own business is you do need to work a little bit of a work-life balance. You sort of said, you know, but parenting isn't always necessarily a balance in that respect. But by balance, we sort of mean finding time for the different things that you want to do around your work.
Yeah, and finding ways to make it not stressful. You know, there were times when I used to, I remember when I was at the beginning with my children, and I would drive them to school, kind of chuck them out at school and then get in the car and rush to work and then get to work and kind of be, you know, a bit hyper and a bit sort of, oh, I've done too much already. And then actually when I thought, if I just slow this all down, this is the point of being a business owner, I can do all of this. And I go to work clear head, and as soon as I walk through the door, I'm straight in there. So there's a big difference to actually, like you said, finding that balance of how it can all work for you and just think, actually, there's some things that I can do that will reduce the stress and make me a better accountant.
And since becoming a partner, did you say it's been 4 years
I
can't remember if that's what you said, yeah.
No, it's definitely been longer than that. It's probably been about 8 or 9 years, I think. I'm not too sure. I should know that.
Has the role changed sort of in that time? I know the world is moving very quickly and we're finding that things are changing and at the moment I feel like we're in a bit of a limbo period with certain things. Have you noticed any big changes in that time?
Yeah, no, there's been all sorts of changes. I think people are running their businesses differently and therefore us as accountants have to look at it in a different way. I think people before COVID were very much, this is my life, this is my work. And I think it all started to merge a bit during COVID because people had to work from home, etc. And I think a lot of people and businesses have tried to incorporate that going forwards at what they want to do. So yeah, we've seen some differences. I'm talking more to clients about what they want from their personal life. Why have they gone into business? What are they hoping to achieve? And actually those are bringing up very different conversations from what I had 20 years ago, where it was very much, I only want to talk to you about my work. I don't want to tell you what's going on at home.
And do you see any big changes coming in this year that might even throw that out a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, with all the, cost of living and taxes increasing at the moment, it's definitely making people look differently at their businesses and look at where they can do some cost savings, or even make some people make the decision about whether or not they stay in business or whether or not they go back to employment.
So we've spoken a little bit about the changes that sort of happened around COVID. There are obviously a lot of things going on at the moment that will be affecting people as business owners. What sort of things are you seeing?
Yeah, so I think the cost of living and the increase in taxes, etc., have made a real difference to some businesses. Unfortunately, some people are making the decision to stop running their business and go back to employment in those situations. But there's lots of other businesses that are really going, there's more to life than just working. And actually, I want to keep the balance that I can have from running a business. And so there's lots of people still pushing through this situation. And hopefully, they will come out the other side with a profitable company, with some cash in the bank in that instant that we can continue to grow at the moment. But I think at the moment, there's a lot of people that are just trying to get through this period rather than massively looking to grow their businesses. It's a difficult situation at the moment. But loads of our clients are still, carrying on through it all.
And changes, that's obviously for business owners running sort of loads of different industries. For yourselves in sort of that accountancy space, are there changes that are affecting you?
I think we've got the same change as everybody else. We're
Yeah.
we're still running a business, so we've still got increased cost of staff wages, the employers, national insurance, corporation tax, VAT, all that as well to think about, as well as the general cost of living things. So actually, in a way, we're kind of in the same boat as other people from that point of view. But hopefully, we can just help those businesses to kind of grow through this period as we are trying to as well. I mean, we're still trying to grow our business by being out there doing networking, doing things like this. So actually, that can hopefully make a big difference and bring us through this period.
And do you have any particular goals for the business in 2026?
We're working on those at the moment. So yeah, we have sat down and decided that actually this is the year that we want to really make sure that we're kind of focusing ourselves a little bit, looking at where the business is going and what we're looking to achieve at the moment. So we just know at the moment we definitely want to grow. We want to get more members of staff, and we want to get new clients into the business. You've always got this, people will look to retire from their business or sell their businesses, etc. So we lose clients naturally that way. So we're always looking at the kind of the fresh pickings coming in, who's setting up new businesses, who's been with a small accountant that kind of wants to grow and become a little bit bigger with another accountancy practice. So we're looking at the moment at how we're going to do that within PPS. So we haven't decided on those goals yet, but we are working on them as we speak.
It's the beginning of the year. You've
Yeah,
got time.
definitely.
Are your clients based just around this area, or what sort of scope around the country do you work with people?
Yeah, so we've got loads of clients in the Swindon and Wiltshire area. That's generally where we get most of our clients from. People still like to have a local accountant, but actually we've got lots of clients that we've had over the years. I mean, we've been going for 30 odd years. I've been there for 25 years, and we've had clients during that whole time. Then lots of them have ended up moving around the country, and they tend to stay with us because we continue to give them that advice that they've always had. We can jump on a Teams call, or we can pop out and see them if needs be and go and have a trip out somewhere. So we have got clients all over the UK, but predominantly we end up looking in the Swindon, Wiltshire area.
Yeah. That personal relationship is really important, isn't it? Especially when you're talking about money.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you've got to trust someone, and it takes time to build up that trust. And so we end up keeping, well, hopefully we tend to keep those clients because we've spent that time at the beginning getting to know them, understand them, and we know what they're trying to achieve in the future as well. So yeah, it's really important to us, the relationships.
Yeah. And from a PR perspective, that's sort of the relationship that we're trying to help push out there a little bit so that people get to know you a bit better. Is PR what you expected it would be in relation to your business?
Yes and no. I think I've learned over the years kind of what to do within PR. I still feel very much guided by PR companies. I couldn't do it without you guys. I wouldn't know where to start really. But yeah, to just kind of guided of what kind of advice to give people, where to, put ourselves out there, and where to, stand back a little bit and let somebody else step forwards. So yeah, I thought it was just networking, and then I realised there's a whole load more to PR than just that. So yeah.
We really enjoy getting to know you and the team and sort of pulling out those personal stories. I'm hoping to come along to a breakfast at some point. So you've got one in March, then you'll have another in June.
And then we do one in November. So we try and skip the summer period because everybody's busy and enjoying summer holidays, etc. And for me, I find it quite time consuming pulling them together. It's not my natural area, and therefore 3 is more than enough for me to kind of run myself as part of the team. But they tend to run pretty smoothly now. We've got a really nice team of people at PPS that help me out, and the Hilton are fantastic at, holding it there for us as well.
Brilliant. So if people want to come along, they can come and find the information on your website.
Yes.
Where else can people get into contact with you, Sally, if they want to get to know you and get to know to working with PPS?
Yeah, so there's Facebook and LinkedIn. We're fully present on both of those, or people can just find me from kind of looking me up on the internet, find me on the BNI website, etc. But yeah, we're always happy. We do it from word of mouth as well, so people can just walk into the office, come and have a chat with us.
And then we like that. We get to come and see you. You are our accountant. We like to come and visit.
Definitely. Got a nice meeting room.
Absolutely. And good tea.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming and joining me this morning, Sally. It's been lovely to talk to you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you for watching another episode of Real PR. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me talk to Sally today. And if you want to find us, it's scottmedia.uk, or me and Fiona are both very active on LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. Thank you for watching.